You were told a beautiful lie. You were told that kindness wins, that hard work pays off, that if you just keep your head down, stay honest, play by the rules, someone will notice, someone will reward you, someone will see your worth. Look around. The people commanding your reality, the ones pulling strings you don't even see yet, they didn't get there by being the nicest. They didn't rise by being the smartest. They possess something you were never taught to recognize. They operate on a frequency you were trained to ignore. While you were memorizing equations and chasing degrees, they were learning a different language entirely. The language of power, the language of control, the language spoken in the spaces between words, in the silence that makes weak men confess, in the shadows where real decisions are made. You have been sleepwalking, reacting to emotions you cannot name, manipulated by forces you cannot see, playing a game where everyone else knows the rules except you, and you feel it, don't you? That sickening sensation of being out, that grinding realization that people with half your talent somehow stand above you, that exhaustion from trying to be good, trying to be understood, trying to be transparent, only to be betrayed, overlooked, forgotten. That ends now, not with motivation, not with positive thinking, not with another article telling you to believe in yourself. We're going past that. We are going into the desert, into the place where illusions die and only truth remains. Uncomfortable truth, dangerous truth, the kind of truth that once you see it, you can never unsee it. You will look at your relationships and see the power plays. You will look at your workplace and see the strings. You will look in the mirror and see the weakness you have been feeding, the victim you have been protecting, the part of you that secretly loves being powerless, because powerlessness comes with no responsibility. If you are not ready to kill that part of yourself, stop reading. Go back to the comfort of your delusions. But if you stay, understand this. You are about to download 9 laws of dark intelligence, not life hacks, not success tips, psychological weapons. And weapons change the person who wields them. You cannot go back to the puppet show once you see the strings. Are you still here? Good. Then we begin. The first law is the law of selective silence. Most people talk because they are terrified. Terrified of silence, terrified of empty space, terrified of being alone with the screaming inside their own skull. So they fill the void. They babble, they explain, they justify. They hand you the blueprint of their mind, their fears, their leverage points, their soft underbelly, all because they cannot sit in silence for 5 seconds without unraveling. This makes them predictable, and if you are predictable, you are Power does not announce itself. Power sits. Power watches. Power listens while everyone else scrambles to fill the silence, revealing themselves, exposing their insecurities, confessing their strategies without even realizing they are doing it. Think about the last time you felt truly intimidated. Was it the person yelling threats? No. It was the person who sat perfectly still, watching you, saying nothing. That silence created a vacuum, and human beings cannot tolerate a vacuum. They will fill it. They will talk. They will give you everything you need to defeat them, all because they could not handle the weight of your silence. Stop explaining yourself. Stop defending your actions. Stop offering your thoughts before they are extracted from you. Become a black hole. Absorb everything. Reflect nothing. When people cannot read your position, they cannot form a strategy against you. They become cautious. They seek your approval. They project their fears onto your silence, and those fears control them more than you ever could with words. Silence is not the absence of noise. Silence is the presence of control. The second law is the law of strategic amorality. This is where you will resist. This is where the conditioning kicks in. You have been trained to view the world through a moral lens. Good or bad. Fair or unfair. Right or wrong. This binary thinking is a cage. It keeps you reacting emotionally, while others move strategically. When someone betrays you, you waste energy being hurt. You ask why. You feel it is unjust. Meanwhile, They have already moved 3 steps ahead because they were never playing the morality game. They were playing the power game. When a predator hunts, is it evil? No, it is necessary. When a storm destroys a house, is it malicious? No. It is inevitable. You suffer because you project your human morality onto a universe that has none. Dark intelligence requires you to step outside this framework. View reality like a mechanic views an engine. If the car does not start, the mechanic does not call the engine immoral. He finds the broken part. He fixes it or replaces it. When someone attacks you, do not be offended. Offense is weakness disguised as righteousness. Instead, analyze, why did they attack? What do they want? What is their leverage? How do I neutralize this without them seeing it coming? This is strategic amorality. It does not mean you have no ethics. It means you refuse to let your ethics blind you to how power actually operates. You can be a good person, but you must be a cold strategist first. Because a good person with no power is not virtuous. They are just a victim waiting to happen. Stop asking, why did they do this to me? Start asking, what does this move allow me to do next? The third law is the law of controlled vulnerability. There is a misconception that dark intelligence means being cold, distant, robotic. That is amateur hour. That is someone trying to look tough. True power understands that humans are emotional creatures. If you appear too perfect, too invulnerable, you generate envy. You create enemies who want to see you bleed just to prove you are human. So you give them a flaw. A small one. A harmless one. You admit to being terrible with technology. You share a mildly embarrassing story. You ask for a small, insignificant favor. This triggers something in them. They lower their guard. They feel superior, or they feel connection. They think you are just like them. Perfect. That is exactly where you want them. While they are bonding with your curated vulnerability, while they are feeling safe around you, they are blind to your actual strengths. You are managing their perception. You are humanizing yourself just enough to avoid being a target while keeping your true core, your real plans, your actual weaknesses locked in a vault they do not even know exists. Never show your throat, but occasionally show a scratch on your arm. It makes them feel safe, and a safe enemy is easy to outmaneuver. The fourth law is the law of the mirror. We live in an age of extreme narcissism. Everyone is starring in their own movie. Everyone else is just an extra in their story. The mistake you make is trying to be the star in their movie. You try to impress them. You try to show them how smart you are, how capable, how worthy. Stop. Dark intelligence dictates that you do not try to outshine them. You become a mirror instead. Reflect their emotions back to them. If they are angry, validate that anger. If they are excited, match that energy. Use their words. Adopt their posture. When you mirror someone, something powerful happens in their brain. They do not see you. They see themselves. And because everyone loves themselves, they will love you. They will think you are the most intelligent, charming, empathetic person they have ever met, even if you have said almost nothing. This is not about being fake. This is about data collection. While they are falling in love with their own reflection in your eyes, you are mapping their psyche. You are learning their triggers, their values, their weaknesses. You are finding the keys to influence them. The mirror has no ego. It simply reflects. Be to mirror, let them admire themselves. And while they are distracted by their own image, you move the pieces on the board without them ever noticing. The fifth law is the law of outcome independence. The root of all anxiety, all desperation, all weakness is attachment to outcome. You want the job. You want the relationship. You want the respect. And because you want it so badly, you signal scarcity. You signal need. And in the laws of power, need is repulsive. People run from those who need them. They are drawn to those who can walk away. You must cultivate radical outcome independence. This is the mindset that says, I will work for this. I will plan for this. But if I do not get it, it will be fine. This is not giving up. This is the ultimate leverage. When you are willing to walk away from the negotiation, you hold all the cards. When you are willing to lose the relationship, you set the standards. Fear of loss makes you a slave. If your boss knows you are terrified of losing your job, he owns you. If your partner knows you are terrified of being alone, they own you. You must mentally accept the worst-case scenario. Visualize losing it all. Make peace with it. Realize you would survive. Once you destroy the fear of loss, you become dangerous. You become untouchable. You can speak truth because you do not fear consequences. You can take risks because you do not fear the fall. The person who needs nothing eventually gets everything because they operate from abundance, not starvation. The sixth law is the law of the useful enemy. Most people want peace. They want everyone to like them. They avoid conflict at all costs. This is a biological error. Conflict is the forge of intelligence. Without resistance, your mind atrophies. Without an enemy, you become soft. You get fat on your own ego. Dark intelligence recognizes the utility of an enemy. An enemy sharpens you. An enemy forces focus. An enemy reveals your weaknesses so you can fix them before someone more dangerous exploits them. Look at history. Every giant needed their rival. The friction created the fire. Do not whine about the people trying to bring you down. Use them. Let their hate fuel your discipline. Let their doubt be evidence of your ambition. And understand this. Having a common enemy is the fastest way to build alliances. Nothing unites a group faster than a shared threat. If you want to unify a team, a family, a movement, you do not preach love. You identify a threat. Do not fear the enemy. Curate them. Choose an enemy worthy of your potential and let the war elevate you. The seventh law is the law of the persona. You believe you are one person. You believe in authenticity. This is a limitation. You are different with your mother than with your boss. Different with your lover than with your rival. Dark intelligence is the conscious curation of these masks. It is the realization that authenticity is often just an excuse for lack of self. I am just being me, says the person who ruins every opportunity with their temper. That is not authenticity. That is childishness. You must view your personality as a construct, a tool. When you enter a high-stakes meeting, you wear the mask of authority. Cold, decisive, unwavering. When you are with your family, you wear the mask of the protector. Warm, engaged, present. This is not lying. This is calibration. You do not use a hammer to tighten a screw. Why would you use the same personality for every situation in life? You must be able to be the lion when the moment requires ferocity, and the fox when the moment requires cunning. If you are only the lion, you walk into traps. If you are only the fox, the wolves eat you. Fluidity is survival. Be water. Take the shape of the container. When the container breaks, you flow. You do not shatter. The eighth law is the law of necessary suspicion. Trust, but verify. No, that is too soft. Verify, then trust provisionally. The naive mind projects its own goodness onto the world. You think because you would not lie, they will not lie. This projection causes your greatest heartbreaks. Dark intelligence accepts a brutal truth. Everyone acts in their own self-interest. Even altruism is often driven by the need to feel good about oneself. This is not a reason to be bitter. It is a reason to be awake. You must develop a background radiation of suspicion, not paranoia. Paranoia is fear without evidence. Suspicion is attention to detail. Watch what people do, not what they say. Words are designed to manipulate. Actions are the only truth. When someone offers you a great opportunity, ask what is in it for them. When someone compliments you excessively, ask what they are trying to distract you from. Require proof. Test loyalty before you lean on it. Give people small amounts of power and see how they use it before you give them the kingdom. It is better to be pleasantly surprised by loyalty than devastated by betrayal. The ninth law is the law of the shadow. We end with the deepest truth. The one that most will not accept. You must integrate your monster. Society tells you to be harmless, to be nice, to repress your anger, your greed, your desire for power. But a harmless person is not a virtuous person. A harmless person is just a weak person. They cannot do good because they do not have the capacity to stop evil. Dark intelligence is the realization that you are capable of terrible things. You have the capacity for cruelty, for manipulation, for destruction. You must not deny this. You must own it. Why? Because if you do not know your own capacity for darkness, you will never recognize it in others. You will be naive. And worse, if you repress your shadow, it will control you. It will come out sideways. In passive aggression, in resentment, in self-sabotage. You must bring the monster into the light. You must look at it and say, I see you. I control you. When you know you could destroy someone, but you choose not to. Tat is Birtwe. That is controlled power. You need that edge. You need that darkness in your eyes that tells the world I am peaceful by choice, not by inability. When you integrate your shadow, you become whole. You stop being afraid of the darkness in the world because you have mastered the darkness in yourself. These 9 laws are not a checklist. They are a filter. From this moment forward, you will walk into a room and see things differently. You will see the silence that screams. You will see the mirrors people hold up. You will see the lions and the foxes. You are no longer a civilian in the war of the mind. You are a combatant. But with this power comes a burden. The burden of isolation. When you wake up, you realize how many people are still sleeping. You will feel distance grow between you and your old life. Your old friends may think you have changed. They may say you are colder, quieter. Let them. You are shedding the skin of the victim. You are shedding the need for validation. You are stepping into the realm of the outlier. The question is not whether these laws work. History has proven they do. For thousands of years. The question is whether you have the stomach to use them. Most people will read this, nod their heads, and go back to being prey. Back to complaining. Back to hoping the world becomes nice. But you are still here. You are listening to the silence. You know what must be done. You know what you must become. The rabbit hole goes much deeper than this, and we are just getting started. I will see you in the shadows.